graveyard, if you will. It's kind of strange. Cemeteries have always been a place of peace to me. I know that's not the feeling that most people get when they visit a place like this, but to me it's just so peaceful, and perhaps it's because of the fact that so few people actually come here unless they have a reason that's going to depress them. Perhaps they're visiting the grave marker of a loved one, or perhaps they're being told to decorate a or perhaps they're being told to decorate a tombstone for someone that they may not necessarily care that much about to take time out of their day, which is a sad thought. But to me, I've never really had any negative feelings when being at a graveyard. It's always been just a place of peace to me. Maybe it's because in the context of laying one to rest, people say rest in peace, and it's one of the few times in our collective conscience, us being the war-loving animals that we are, we love bloodshed, we hate peace, even though we say otherwise. When we say rest in peace, referring to a fallen one, it's one of the few times that we actually mean the word peace. We bring all this peace to the graveyard, hoping for a peaceful transition from this life to the afterlife. And in a nutshell, I think that that's pretty much why I find so much peace at a place like this. It's because so much peace has been brought to it, and it's, considering that so few people actually come here that don't have to, it kind of becomes a tranquil place on top of that. I tell you, there's few things as motivating as the idea of our own mortality. The fact that one day we will not be here. The fact that we're really not guaranteed anything in life at all. We're not guaranteed any time on this planet, and thus it is in our best interest to make the most of our time here as we can. I think I have a pretty healthy outlook when it comes to death, and as with most people who do, it didn't necessarily come about by nature. It had to be nurtured into me. I've had painful losses in my life, some of them more recent than others. And I've just kind of learned that it's pointless to have a negative outlook when it comes to death, because at this point it's an inevitability. Will they ever get rid of death? I highly doubt it. I think it's here to stay. So I think the ironic thing is that death is a part of life. It's a sad part of life for sure, but it's also inspiring, as I said. It makes you really want to spend the time that you have on life doing something worthwhile. People have to die so that life can be worth living. This is what inspires me to do a lot of the things that I do in life, knowing that my time is precious and needs to be utilized to the most of its potential. Lately, I've been working on planning for my own personal branding and my business creativity, because I have found that a little prior proper planning can prevent piss poor for performance. Ugh, easy for me to say, huh? One of my big things is doing things a little differently from everyone else. Learning what works and what doesn't work, but tweaking the way I do things just a little bit to put my own spin on things. You see, most businesses operate in quarters. They separate the year into periods of 3 months each: spring, summer, fall, winter. I decided to go just a little bit different and simplify things and separate it into thirds of 4-month periods each. 1/3, 2nd third, 3rd third. A cool little side effect is I think the year actually divides better into thirds than it does in the quarters, at least here in the Midwest where I happen to live. January, February, March, April. This is sort of the beginning of the year, and it's a whole lot of nothingness. At least around here it is. We're recovering from the shock of the holiday season, and we're just kind of setting the tone for the year. It's not uncommon for people to wake up and realize that a third of the year has already passed them by the time May hits. They're like, where did all the time go? Which is why, for me, I want to prioritize innovation. I want to keep things interesting for this time of year. I want to try new things. I want to experiment. So for example, here on YouTube or whatever, this will be the time that I'm most likely to launch new shows or new ideas or new concepts. Basically, I want to bring that New Year spirit to this time of the year, and also the idea to innovate and keep things interesting, if you will. Next comes May, June, July, and August. Now, I don't know what it's like where you live, but around here we have a word for that period. That's called summer. Even though technically summer is only from June until September. Now technically doesn't mean anything. Technicalities are worthless. And in the Midwest, by the time we get in the middle of June, when summer officially starts, summer is well underway here in the Midwest by then. So this is going to be the time frame of the year where we stick with what's tried and what's true. We're going to focus more on live events as opposed to content, because statistically speaking, people consume, I should say, a lot less content during this time of year. Ever wonder why all of your favorite TV shows end at the beginning of the year and don't start again until the fall? That's why. People are not consuming content. They are out living life during this time of the year, and I want to capitalize on that. Now the question is, at this point you might be wondering, how exactly does a one-man show like Swollen Thumb Entertainment at this point manage to do a thing like this? The answer is you have to work ahead, and that is currently what I'm doing. I am working ahead for the next third of the year. Right now it's summer, it's just started summer, but I am well underway for producing content for the fall and winter of this year, 2017. Now the next logical question would probably be, what type of content? Well, I'm not completely at liberty to say, because I got some pretty shocking and enlightening things coming up around the turn of the year. 2018, I know I've said this in the past, but the next year is going to be really something. My entire life has been building up to this, and even though I'm making it into a milestone event, it's also just a stepping stone along the path of life that I call existence. The content that I'm currently producing for the number 3/3 of 2017 is really just a build up to that. In January, everything changes. And I know hype is hype, and what I'm trying to do here is I'm not trying to hype things up. I'm looking at it as creating awareness for the brand that I'm trying to create, because I've come to learn in life that working for other people can only take you so far, and it's now or never as far as getting serious about building the life that I want to build. At any rate, I kind of got off topic a little bit. As for the number 3/3 of the year, you have September, October, November, or December, also known as the holiday season. And yes, I consider Halloween to be a holiday, and thus I consider the build-up to Halloween to be part of that holiday, and I consider the beginning of that build-up to be at the beginning of September. And as I said earlier, the number 3/3 of 2017 is the content that I'm currently working on as we speak, as I'm filming this. I basically have two objectives with this content. Number one, as I said, it's a stepping stone to what I have happening in January, and that's an important stepping stone. But also, number two objective is I want to really celebrate the reason for the season. And I'm not talking religious reasons, I'm talking about just celebrating life in general. If you really want to break it down into spiritual reasons, we can get all pagan here and mention how Halloween celebrates death. You have the Day of the Dead on November 1st, and it goes all the way until Christmas, which is celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. And it goes right into New Year's Eve, which is all about new beginnings and birth and all of that good stuff. I don't know about you, but this is a concept that I can really get behind, and it pains me that I've had so many negative feelings about holidays in the past. I want that to change. And for me, that means I need to get more control over my situation, more control over my circumstances. Basically, in a nutshell, I want to celebrate the holidays on my terms, not the way society has programmed me to do it. At any rate, that's kind of what's on my mind today. I also wanted to point out that The most recent video blog that I shot involved me putting pins on my hat of all subjects. It's funny when you give yourself permission to vlog about any subject you want, you'll come up with the lamest possible subject ever. Hat pins. Basically, I gave myself permission to vlog about whatever the heck I wanted to, and with the stipulation that I could always just not upload it or edit the crap out of it in the future if I wanted to. Having a day to sleep on it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to roll with it, and I'm going to keep it going. I actually found 2 more pins that I want to put on my hat, but this time I think I'm going to make myself earn it. I think I'm going to give myself some sort of standard that I have to meet in regards to my content before I can put these pins on my hat. I know I'm being purposely vague. It's because I know that you want to know what these 2 pins are. All I'm going to say is they're loot crate pins that I already had that I rediscovered, and you can kind of go from there. They're obviously something nerdy, and I kind of got an idea for what I'm going to do to earn those pins. But for now, I think we're going to leave it right there. Not much else to say on the subject, so we'll end the video at this point. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, Swollen Thumb Entertainment, and check back here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for more content. Ha! I have no shame in stealing from the best. And until next time, live conscious.